On divorce court today. Angela claims her husband of 4 years is a destructive drinker who has ruined their relationship. She says he has dragged her heart through the ringer, while he claims she keeps tossing out his clothes. Angela Scott and Gustavo Torres have brought their dispute for Judge Lynn Toler to resolve. Testimony in divorce court starts now.
Ms. Scott, you say you have filed for divorce against Mr. Torres because of his destructive drinking habits. Why don't you tell me what he's been doing?
I've been married to Gustavo for about 4 years now, but we've been together for 10 years. And when we first started dating, you know, I had 2 kids, and, you know, I met him at school. So we met, and I knew he had a drinking problem because he partied too much. That's what it was. Don't look at me like that.
Now, Ms. Scott, you've had an opportunity to argue at home. Now it's time to talk to me.
I understand. When we first met, he just drank a lot. I just thought, you know, his partying just needed to get out of the system, you know? But then he would come to my place and black out, and I would, like, he would wake up in the morning and be like, how did I get here? And I'm like, you drove to my house. What do you mean, how do you get here, you know? And then just over the years, you know...
Did it get worse over the years or just continue?
It got worse over the... It got worse after we had our first kid. That's when I realized.
Okay, Mr. Torres...
It got worse after we had our daughter.
Don't argue with him, Ms. Scott. Mr. Torres, why don't you tell me how often you drink and if you think you do have a drinking problem?
I do not have a drinking problem. I would only drink on the weekends. And I would hang out and just party. I was young. I was in college. And that's what I was doing. There was nothing wrong with it.
Has your drinking at all changed in quantity or since you've been married and had children with her?
Yes, it did.
I got better at it.
Ms. Scott?
It didn't change for the better.
Yeah, I started drinking less and I started drinking better beers. I was in drink.
Yeah,
I should have said quantity and quality. Now, what does better beer do for you? Does it make you a nicer drunk or what?
No, it made me a sophisticated drinker.
It made you an angry drunk. That's what it was, sophisticated.
When you say he's an angry drunk, it describes something he's done that, while he was intoxicated, that caused disruption.
He had a friend spend the night over, you know, and we get into arguments. I'm like, who's this dude sleeping on my couch, you know? He just, oh, he's just gonna hang out for a couple of days. So they went out.
Hang on, Mr. Torres.
They went out one night, comes back home, and he's drunk, and he's like, look what you made me do. You made me beat up my friend because he couldn't stay here. I said, I didn't drive you to the bar.
I beat him up because she...
Stop.
I didn't drive him to the bar, right? I didn't tell you get into a fight over your friend by he didn't want to leave our house. It was over the fact that your friend is a drunk, you're a drunk, and you guys got into a fight at the bar.
Because you were drinking.
Because you were drinking. That's what
Mr.
it was.
Torres, what is your version of that event?
That is not true.
Okay, what happened?
We was drinking at home, just a few beers, nothing hard, and my wife told me, your friend got to go. And I said, okay, that's fine. I didn't want no problems at my house. So we left, and we went to drink, and I felt that it was his fault that she was getting angry at me. And we started, you know, we young, we started wrestling.
Now, you know that's liquor logic, right?
That's drunk talk, what you mean?
No, seriously, you know that's liquor logic. That you got to thinking about it. Yeah. That's the reason my wife looked at me funny.
Exactly.
That's liquor logic. If you had been sober, you wouldn't have gone that route.
Boy, if she wouldn't have kicked us out, it would never gone to the bar and it would have got escalated to that point.
You were supposed to take him home.
I beat up my best friend over her.
You were supposed to take him home.
Mr. Torres, you're the one who balled up your fist. You're the one that put your fist on his face. She did not cause you to do that. You did that on your own. So let's just leave that where it is. We've been talking about you, Mr. Torres. I want to talk about Ms. Scott. What do you say is the reason your marriage is failing?
Like my wife said, I met her at college. When I first seen her, I thought she was a beautiful girl. I was like, ooh, you know, I want to get with this girl. And so we started dating. And during the early days of our dating, there were red flags that there was something wrong with her, that she's crazy.
Okay,
oh, really
what were the red
crazy
flags? Ms. Scott, would you like to have a seat?
No.
So I was at work, and one of my coworkers comes in and she asked me, are you dating a black girl? And I said, yeah, why? And she said, I think she's in front of the job throwing all your clothes on the floor. And I said, what? So I walked to the front.
Yeah.
So I walked to the front of the job, I opened the door and all my clothes was on the sidewalk. You know, I picked up all my clothes, I went inside the company, and everybody was there pointing and laughing at me. She was obviously trying to embarrass me over little things.
Ms. Scott, why did you do that?
When it was payday, I wouldn't see him because he was too busy spending his money where he wanted to spend his money at. So I got tired of it. I said, if you can't come home, then you don't be here. So yeah, I got all this stuff. His dirty clothes, his toothpaste and everything, and threw it in front of the job.
She could at least
now,
call
Ms.
me.
Scott, let me ask you. You know
Yes.
that was childish and stupid, right?
Very much.
It was. That's
we
why I
both
went
know
back
that.
and picked him up. So I felt bad because, you know, I go down back to the job. He got this big box full of clothes, and I knew he had to take the bus home, so I went back and picked him up.
Yeah, because that was pitiful and sad
Your
on
Honor,
your
how
part.
do you-
Yeah.
How do you think I feel? She throws all my clothes outside, and I come out of my job at the end of the day, and she's there waiting for me.
Ms. Scott, I'm going to ask you about his jealousy. You say that, too, is an issue in your marriage's
Yes, you want to call me
demise.
crazy? He's a crazy one, okay? He's the crazy, jealous type where it's like, you know, I can't go anywhere without him. You know,
That's
it's
not
like,
true.
Mr.
It's like,
Torres?
oh, can I go with you? No, you can stay home. You don't need to go with me to the grocery store. And then if I'm taking too long at the grocery store, he's calling me. What are you doing? It's a long line at the grocery store. I'll be home in a minute, you know? And then when I start working, he's always on me. Where you at? When you coming home? What time are you getting off? To the point where he's sitting at my job in the parking lot when I get out.
She just needed
What the heck?
company.
How do you? No, I don't need company. You followed me all the way from work to the gas station and sat at a corner.
Mr.
like-
Torres, did you do that?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And you did that because?
He's crazy.
I'm asking you, did you believe that she was doing something inappropriate with another man?
Yeah, I
No,
did.
he didn't.
And why did you believe that? What led you to that conclusion?
She was always sneaky, hiding her phone and not letting me see what's going on. She was always putting passcodes.
Why
like, wait,
do I need for you to
phone
be
does-
checking
Stop
my
it, Miss
phone?
Scott.
My phone doesn't have a password. She could see my phone anytime, and she does, by the way. She checks it. She asks me, who is this? Who is this?
Do you
So-
do that?
Yeah, I do because I found naked pictures in there one time of a girl. So don't even. So if you want to go how
You get
how
them
I
from the
checked your phone.
internet.
Okay,
It was,
Miss Scott, I got it. Mr. Torres, have you ever caught her doing anything illicit with another man?
No.
Exactly.
But you remain jealous.
Co-workers flirting with her a lot. I had to check one of her co-workers from flirting with her.
the dude made a comment to me, and I told him, like, hey, so-and-so said, oh, you're sexy or something. And I was just like, okay. He's like, oh, wow, well, I'll keep an eye on him type of a thing. I didn't know he hit the dude up in the parking lot later on.
Miss Scott, I mean, at some point in the day, you have to use common sense. You don't tell a jealous drunk guy about somebody at your job who said something to you that was inappropriate.
The dude was weird.
Miss Scott, you check him, you make sure he's checked, and then you move forward. You don't tell him. That doesn't make any sense.
Next, did a jar of jelly break up this marriage? Or was there also another woman? Divorce isn't easy. If you need help with your breakup, call toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt. Divorce Court, real relationships, raw emotion. Testimony continues now.
Miss Scott, you say he cheated on you twice while you were pregnant with your daughter.
Right, that I know of.
That you know of. How did you catch him?
I'm 7 months pregnant. I'm laying in the bed, and with his phone, when you get a message in, you hear this beeping. And I'm hearing the beeping. He's knocked out, you know? So I grab the phone, and there's a message from some broad talking about, hi, sweetie, have a good night, hope you get home safely. And I'm looking at this message, and I'm freaking out, you know what I mean? I'm pregnant with our third kid, and he comes out the bathroom, and I'm like, who the heck is this? Oh, it's a coworker. She just wanted to make sure I got home safely. That's BS, you know? So I just start grabbing his clothes out of the closet, throwing it down the stairs, and like, you gotta go. Because I knew something was going on anyways. Because I have a friend that he would go to the house and hang out with, to their friend's house and drink. And they told me and said, hey, your husband's coming over here drinking. He's talking about some issues with some girl that he's having. And I said, okay.
That is not true.
I
What
said,
friend
okay,
told you
that? Mr.
don't worry.
Torres, I'll get to you.
I'm gonna keep an eye on him. You know, and that's when it started thinking something is going on with him. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm working late.
I got you, Mr. Torres. Your response to that is what?
Your Honor, Honestly, I did cheat on my wife.
Okay.
And, but it escalated to that situation where I felt that I couldn't even come home. I would come home and there wouldn't be no hugs or kisses. I'd be working 10, 12, 14, and even 16 hours at these different jobs. And I would come home and there would be nothing like a warm, welcoming hug. So if there's no reward there, you know, I met a female during one of my jobs, and she was real nice, and we just started being friends, and that's how it started, and it escalated to that point. But I always did tell her that I was married.
This girl didn't have a job. She had just got out of jail.
Miss Scott. Now, Mr. Torres, let me ask you this. Yes. Along those lines, you say that she is emotionally unstable.
She is.
Now, give me an example. Well, I've heard a few already. I mean, I get it. She tells on herself. What was the first inkling that you got that she was unstable?
Well, the mere fact that she went in through my clothes in front of my job was a red flag that there's something wrong.
Was that the first time you ever saw her carry on in such a fashion?
Yes, it was. After that, it escalated.
How long had you been together before she did that?
Maybe 3, 4 months.
No, it was 2 years.
No, it was not.
Yeah, it was. It was 2 years, because when I met you, you didn't start working at that job.
Yeah, and we only dated, we didn't stay together.
Hey, Mr. Torres, you say she gets mad over the smallest of issues. Why don't you give me an example of some small issue she became enraged about?
The smallest issue, and that escalated extremely to an epic level, I was eating breakfast on the table with my kids.
Right.
And we was having pancakes, and I opened a new jar of jelly. And as I'm putting the strawberry jam on the pancakes, she comes in and she's looking at us, and she's looking at me, and she's like, oh, you're inconsiderate. And I'm like, for what? I don't understand. She's like, you have to open a new jar of jelly. There's one in the fridge. After that point, she didn't talk to me for almost 2 weeks. I would come home, and she would just walk around. She ignored me like I didn't even existed over a jar of jelly.
Hang on. Miss Scott, did you actually not speak to the man for 2 weeks because he opened a jar of jelly when there was already one in the fridge?
I did, because he just goes into the kitchen and just opens stuff up. And it's like, why don't you open the refrigerator first and see what's in there?
That's not a reason why not to talk to me for 2 weeks.
I'm pretty sure it was something else.
Mr. Torres.
It's always something else with you.
Miss Scott. He's got liquor as an excuse. What's yours?
When Divorce Court continues, how have Angela's angry temper tantrums and Gustavo's drinking affected their children?
Do you agree with Gustavo that Angela is the one in their relationship with a bad attitude? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call now.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and join the conversation on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court continues.
Where's all of this, fireworks and lightning getting you? How is that improving your situation, or heaven forbid, giving some peace to your children?
They're used to it.
Miss Scott, they never get used to it. They put up with it. They're not surprised by it, but they never get used to it.
Right. They put up with the madness, and it's never.
It is madness.
Yeah, it is madness when you come home.
Miss Scott, you're setting off little tornadoes in their head, and you don't have the right to do that. If you have one drinking person in the household, for you to become an unstable, screaming Mimi in response is doubly traumatic for them. If you are sober, you have your faculties about you, you should conduct yourself in a manner that won't make your children stark raving mad.
This dude drives me crazy.
But you know what?
Miss
Scott, I have to say this to you, though. You were having problems with him drinking and women before you even married him. So if he drives you so crazy, the next time you throw his clothes out, why didn't you leave him out? Why did you keep bringing him back?
Because we had a kid. But this time we had one kid. And then it just we had another kid, And so
it's like aliens came down and granted you a child. It's not like we were actively engaged in sexual contact without any birth control. And the natural response of that, don't point over there.
I'm pointing to him because he doesn't want to wear protection. Even still,
So
I say
you
get fixed.
use protection. You use a pill. You do something. You are responsible.
I don't like taking pills.
You don't like thinking
I
either.
don't like-
Miss Scott, you don't like thinking either. But that's no excuse for the foolishness that occurs, especially since you've chosen to bring children into this world. You can no longer be silly. You can't be silly. I don't like take the pill, so I'll just have
I'm the more
babies here
mature
and
one
there.
in the house. He's not.
Your Honor,
I do everything in the house.
Your Honor, my drinking was, when I was young, I did drink a lot. I drank a lot and I partied like I was supposed to. The older that I got...
Like he's supposed to.
Yeah, the older that I got, I stopped drinking so much. I would have a beer once in a while after work. But with all
How many times have your children seen you drunk?
That is a good thing. They have not seen me drunk.
That's
they see
a
me
lie.
buzzing.
Oh, I don't believe
they see
that.
me buzzing,
Yeah, that's
but
a
not
lie.
drunk.
Buzzing, really?
Hey.
There's pictures of
That's
you and your son.
Miss Scott,
where he's
Miss Scott. Mr. Torres,
Yes.
people who say they only saw me buzzed and never saw me drunk are too drunk to know that the children are looking at you. So I'm telling you, if you're a drinker and you get buzzed and you drink around the house with your kids have seen you drunk. They've seen you drunk a multitude of times. They've seen how you get drunk and they see what you do when you get drunk. They will either emulate that behavior or be destroyed by it, one of the two. But whatever happens, it's your bad. And it remains your bad until you stop what you're doing. I'm just putting that out there.
Judge Lynn Toler's ruling next.
It's time for you to call 1-800-282-1991 to answer today's question. You'll receive some valuable offers. Call now.
Divorce Court. Judge Lynn Toler's ruling right now.
I want to hear about the guitar and the headlights.
We got into it, you know. Once again, he wanted to go out and party and do what he wanted to do. And so I'm like, okay, you ain't...
to head out to work.
Hang on. So he was doing the same thing he always does, and what did you do?
I got pissed and I smashed it on his car.
Was this in the driveway of your house?
Yes.
And you went out there with a guitar and you smashed the headlight.
Yes.
Were your children home?
They're always home when I smash his guitars.
Your Honor,
I get pissed, I see his
Just
guitar.
like I'm a regular fool. It's typical for me to behave in a way that's going to cause my children not to be stable and whole and happy. That's what I do, Judge. Isn't that what you're saying to me? They're always home when I
but
smash
they're not
the guitar.
right there with me. They're in the house usually watching TV or something.
They know.
Yeah, they know.
They
'cause they said,
know.
oh, there's another guitar. But
You
it's
can
not
be as
something.
cavalier as you care to be about your children's well-being, but it's shameful. It really is. It's absolutely shameful. And you have the capacity to do something about that. And I'm glad you're getting divorced, and I'm glad you're going to be with him. Don't have any more sex with him or go over his house or whatever so
I'm
another
cool.
baby doesn't pop up out of nowhere because you don't like to take pills. Just stop it. What do you want from him anyway?
What do I want from him?
Yeah.
I want him to finish paying for my school.
Did he promise to pay for it?
Yes, he did. He promised
I
to pay
did
half.
not.
You promised to pay half.
well, how about after you pay all my
Tuition was
wheelchairs that you broke,
$3,800.
all my guitars that you broke, my car light, all my clothes that you ripped up,
The guitar.
multiple times. When are you going to pay for all
The guitar, he
that?
never told me. He just said, oh, I'm going to go to the store. And he comes back with a $500 guitar. It's like, buddy, we got bills to pay.
I told
You
you
don't
that I
even know
got
to
that
pay the
from my
guitar.
job, and that was the bonus
He's
that I
been playing
got.
the same damn tune on that freaking guitar for 10 years. And it's
That
like,
is not
take
true.
some
That is
lessons.
not
Get
true.
out, Miss Scott, get out. Get out. She's not going to get what she wants because she doesn't know how to behave. Mr. Torres, I'm going to ask something of you.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if she came to you crazy or you made her crazy. You could have made her crazy. I don't really know. But what I will say to you is this. You have an opportunity to step up and be a better man for your children. You got an opportunity to put down that liquor and be that rock for their children. Can you do that for me?
Yes, I can, Your Honor. Please
do that for me. Because, woo, they're in trouble. There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered.
Angela and Gustavo respect the judge's ruling, and he vows to be a better man for the sake of his children. Post a comment or submit your case at divorcecourt.com or call toll-free 1-877-311-2222. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Divorce Court.